Hello everybody and welcome back to Oakfield Farm. So I didn't think that introduction actually needed any music at all, because what we have before us here is a piece of artwork, and I'm not just talking about the map. The map is obviously beautiful, very well done, but Seasons, what Seasons has done to FS19 is just, at the moment, very hard for me to get my head around. It's like a completely different game, and I'm not just saying that, because you can see for yourself. This isn't what FS19 used to be. Yeah, I know it's snowing, I know it's winter, but the feeling which I'm getting here, it's like something completely different. So I'd like to welcome you to a brand new series which is actually going to be replacing the original Oakfield Farm series. The reason for this is because Oxygen David has now updated the map to support the Seasons mod, which has been done very well, I must just add. It's apparently with giants, so we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer to get this fully out to everybody, but yeah, you're going to see for yourself here what breathtaking work has been done by Oxygen David, Realismus modding, and also Giant software. So this is going to be quite something. So what we're going to do today is obviously set up the farm, and this is nothing like what it used to be. I actually no longer own the other farm. The main farm which we've farmed many times before over there, which is actually called Oakfield Farm, I am not going to be working in at all in this series. This is my farm. I own Oak Glen Farm, which is actually the pig farm. However, with this I do have a lot of other fields which we're going to be managing. So if I just very quickly, to begin with, show you the map, you can see that we own, well, the areas which are just sort of public land, but most importantly, 18, 23, 22, 33, 47, 35, and then I think we do have a smaller field here, 32. There is a small field with the horse farm, and we have the farm itself. I might have missed something, but yes, we own everything in the east. In the north and the east, we own a lot of different fields. So this is actually going to feel most likely like a completely different map to you if you've only ever farmed the sort of starting off farm and the surrounding fields, because this is completely the opposite end of the map, and this is a big map. So I think with it being winter, there isn't a great deal that we can actually do except for doing a bit of snow ploughing, which is obviously required, especially in the yard, which is very slippery. Yeah, that is something which Seasons really does add into the game. Not only the snow but the ice. It is dangerous. It's incredibly slippery even for tractors, and that is no exaggeration. In fact, if you want to see tractors on ice on YouTube, there's plenty. Tractors aren't quite as good as you might have guessed when driving in the snow, although yes, far better than just a car with standard summer tyres on. They can certainly still slip. But yep, here we go. We have the Snowplow and Salt Spreader by Realismus modding and Giant software, and we also have, well actually I have three tractors, but we have the New Holland 8970, which can be configured to be a FIat Agri and also a Ford. Don't worry, I'm not going to just continue talking for ages, I'm going to get into the ploughing in a second, but that is by Smety. And also we have the FIat Agri around here, which can also be a New Holland, which I think is by somebody called Peppy, if I'm not mistaken. The same creator as the FIat in FS19, just here. Yeah, I've gone for the FIat Agri or the FIat design instead of the New Holland. I just, for some reason, prefer it. And finally, I do also have the Massey Ferguson drop nose tractor with a front loader and pallet forks and a bag of sodium chloride, to put it simply, or road salt. So let's jump into the New Holland Ford 8970, and we're going to start working on this road here and also the yard. My wiper has gone berserk. How do you slow it down? Is it possible to slow it down? I currently have no idea. It is the first time I have used this tractor. So yeah, let's just first of all plough the yard. And we'll do some third person view as well, so don't worry about that. Get that offset to the side. Look at that. Love the snowplow. Because I know that in previous versions of Farming Simulator, snowplowing has been part of the game, and it has worked really well, but it's never been quite as perfect as in FS19, from what I've seen so far. I have done some ploughing already, and I was very impressed, to say the least. So I'm not spreading salt here, we'll do some salt on the road. In fact, it's not even been filled up just yet. But yeah, you can fully adjust it, you can angle it, as you can see. So we can do loads of ploughing. I probably should start from one side and work it across instead of just sort of, yeah, putting it back where I've already been. The only problem with that is it's likely going to make quite a large pile in the middle. That's much cosier in the cab. Yes, much warmer, I should say. The cosy cab. Don't want to go too fast here, like the windscreen wiper. But once I have cleared this, I can make a start on the road, and we really do have to do some salt spreading because the snow is still coming down, and if we just plough it then that's fine, but it's going to come back. So I do have to do a fairly thorough job. So this is a good opportunity for me to explain why I have so much money. Well, the reason for that is because this is all we have. We do have the tractors, which are expensive assets, but we don't have a combine harvester, which can be £350,000 alone. No cultivator, no drill, nothing, to put it simply. Nothing at all but what we have here, what you've already seen. We do also have the fields though, but yeah, when I say that, some of the fields can be £1.5 million just for the one field. So yeah, I think it's quite a good thing and sort of expected that we would have some land already. But that's quite a good clearing. Obviously it can be improved. I will improve this area. But yeah, you really can slide. This is quite a heavy tractor, so it doesn't slide quite as much as the Massey Ferguson. But yeah, you can certainly lose control. Just drop the salt off just to demonstrate what it's like. It is it's very slippery. Could probably do a handbrake turn around the corner. There you go. Yeah, good slide. But yeah, that's enough of the falling around on ice. Also, I've noticed the tyres do get snow on them. Really does allow them to blend with the atmosphere. Doesn't that look bleak? It does though. The UK in the winter, it doesn't matter where you are, although some areas do look much worse than others. It's just bleak. I'm sure it's the same in many other countries. Plough that to the side, and I'll plough the other piece to the other side. But this is just stunning. It really is stunning. I can imagine when I've actually finished this job, I'm still going to see that wiper going in front of my eyes. It's insane. There might be a way of turning it off or slowing it down, I'm not too sure. Okay, so that is creating quite a good clearing. Should be good enough. So I'm just going to continue. We'll get the yard finished and then we'll move on to the road. Okay, so I have cleared the majority of the yard. At least I have cleared a track, but I think it would be good just to finish off with some salt just to melt away the excess and of course the areas which aren't quite as accessible. So if I can just get this opened up, then we can lift up the bag of sodium chloride. I think I'll just call it road salt or road grit or something, and we'll get that loaded into there. So lower it down, make it a bit easier for the tractor, and this is the bag of salt. Obviously I put the tractor up here. But it is going to be some time before I can actually get a crop in the ground. All the fields currently have got a really good covering of snow. Also, the ground is frozen, as you can see by the icon. But hopefully it won't be days and days until I can at least get a cultivator into the fields. It would be good if it can be in the next couple of days. Okay, so yeah, road salt. Here we go. Don't want to slip into the tractor's window. As hilarious as it might be, yeah, it would not be a good idea. I could also do with a rear weight on this tractor. There we go. So I'd imagine it would be one bag load to the spreader load, but I might be wrong. It's close, it's like 2/3. So I'd expect it to be maybe 60 to 70% full. But if I just go and put this tractor away, I can then start to do a bit of spreading. Now this piece of the yard here really isn't too bad at all. because I've managed to be able to clear it to here. But in the areas where I can't really clear it to anywhere, such as here, it is going to require just a bit of salt to improve it, make it better. I'm hoping as well the consumption won't be too high. Yeah, that's good. It's very good. So it's just for areas which are fairly inaccessible, and also the road, where it's very important that it's safe. That's good. And then we'll head up the road, because that does go to a lot of my fields. And in fact, we'll take a look at my fields, because we haven't really seen them at all, except for on the map. I'll just clear up this piece here. Okay, so I'm now ready to do the road, and as you can see I have already started. I think for the first piece I'm going to angle it into the fence there rather than into the drive, because that wouldn't be a very good idea. But it should make a fairly good clearing. Yep, now we're past the drive, I can angle it back over here. That's where the rest of it's going to go to. That's the issue with snow ploughing, you can't really see where the edge of the road is. As soon as you go off it starts bouncing. But just watch this, just look how it's going to clear it. It's very impressive. And I don't think we even need the gritter for this. It's only going to be when it really does become very thick, which it might not do, but in future winters it could be a very heavy snowfall. It could be a very heavy snowfall, and then we'd have to do both. But do you sort of get the same feeling that I do, where it now feels like a totally different map and a totally different game? It's just got a completely different feel to it. Seasons is a game changer, which is why I think if Seasons was in the base game for whichever the next farming simulator is going to be, most likely FS21, it would transform the game. It would feel completely different if it's there as standard, on top of any new additions as well. But this is going very well. Can also do it at quite a good pace, 18 miles per hour. Right, so we do have another entrance here. I'm sure they won't approve if I go and dump a load of snow actually in their gateway. So I'll put it back over the other side for here. Ooh, yeah, I might have caught the edge there. And yeah, we'll continue all the way up to the top. It's definitely catching more going to the left. It's better. It's darker up here too. I'm sure that's just a trick of the light. So yeah, we actually do own, I think, the biggest field on the left-hand side at the end of here. We'll just have to switch on the salt spreader because it is getting quite heavy. Yeah, that's good. It's very good. Absolutely love the animation of the snow going around the curvature of the blade. Look at the clearing behind us. Well, I think that is almost as far as we need to go, because that is a road cleared. Yeah, it looks great. Okay, so yeah, as I said, the field which I do need to take a good look into, I think is the one on the left, which you can see now. I will confirm this in a minute or two. About to run out of salt. It's done a good job there. You can see the extra work that it can do with the salt. There we go. Okay, so back onto the minimap, and you can see we are here. It's field number 33 and 47 which we own. So both of these. This one, which is stubble, looks like it used to have oilseed rape in it. And also this one here, which does seem to have an island of trees, which I'm sure looks very pretty in the spring and the summer and the autumn, but not really in the winter. And yeah, my point exactly, we do have a very good snow cover on the land, so you can never get a plough or a cultivator working in there. Just no chance at all. Anyway, yeah, that is as far as we need to go to, because that is the boundary. Before we go back, I just wanted to show you the detailing on the plough, on the blade. All the springs and everything, for when you hit something, they'll spring. And yeah, lovely tractor. I think it suits it well. It's a good job for it, but it's actually going to be my cultivation tractor as well, because it is fairly high horsepower. I don't know exactly, would it be 200 and something? Yeah, it's 240. The 13090 is 130, and the 5613 is 130 as well. So those two are the same. And this is the 240, so we might get a bigger tractor in the future. I'm not too sure at this stage. Really, it comes down to what we have left, what money we have left. Once I have purchased everything we need, and I'm not just going to go and use up every single penny that we have, because that would be crazy. I do need money for seed, fertilizer, and everything like that, everything to be able to actually manage the farm. Plus, I'm going to be getting some pigs for the very first time. The reason why it's taken me, how long has it been since release? About 9 months or something, 8 months. It's because really I've been told by all of my viewers that pigs are just not worth doing. But we're going to be making the money on the arable, and the pigs will just be a nice thing to do for a change. I think a lot of people now do overlook pigs just because they don't really bring in massive profits and great fortunes. But you know, pigs are nice things. I do like pigs. They are underrated animals. I know they do find enjoyment out of swimming in poop, but despite that, I think they're quite, you know, quite nice animals. I know they can get aggressive, but yeah, and they do stink and all that sort of stuff, but they're not that bad. So yeah, I've got the season length set to 6 days. That might be adjusted, especially when I get to winter again, because I think 6 days of winter might become a little bit hard to bear, because there's not a massive amount of work that you can do. Obviously, if you do have livestock, then yeah, it's a constant job. But as we all know now, seasons is a game changer. It's not quite as simple as it used to be in the base game. Animals can die, animals can really be neglected, you have to look after them a lot. So I can definitely only have one animal type here, which is pigs. I would never be able to look after more, because it's challenging. Seasons makes this game very realistic, and at the same time very challenging, which really does allow you to appreciate real life farmers. It's tough. It can be very tough, especially when you get extreme weather conditions. So this is where they're going to be. They have their little pigsties, which I might fit in actually. It's giving me ideas. Oh no, I don't fit. That's probably a good thing. Yeah, because everyone wants to live in a pigsty. But I think they're going to like it here. Before I get any, I need to get the food sorted out, I need to get the water sorted out, because this isn't, like I say, this is not like the base game. If I go and just buy a load of pigs and don't give them anything for a few days, unfortunately, they're dead. It really is as simple as that. I'll continue showing you what we have as well. Field number 23 and field number 22, they are just beyond the forest, which unfortunately we don't own. But that is field number 23 just down there. I think it's a grass field, but it's very hard to tell. It's currently growing snow. Yeah, so fruit types, I think it is grass. It is. They're both grass fields, so they're going to be both used for whatever the pigs require, which I think is actually everything. This is why they are quite demanding. I can't actually see without owning any, but yeah, they do require a lot. Let's just see. Pigs. Yes, so they require corn, wheat, barley, canola, sunflowers, soybeans, potatoes and sugar beet, although it might be one or the other. When it comes to potatoes and sugar beet, one or the other. Root crops, and the same with these. They obviously produce manure and slurry, which is great. Reproduction is fast, so that might be why they're sort of overlooked, because if you don't have that many to begin with, then it is going to be quite difficult to get a load to sell, because that is their product. They don't actually create anything. Like the cows create milk and the sheep create wool. You actually have to sell the pigs, because sadly they're going for slaughter. But yeah, that is the way that we do it. So I think if we buy quite a few, if I by a lot with my million, then I think we are going to succeed with the pigs. Right, so it's going to start to go dark soon because it is late winter, and yeah, it goes dark like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. But we do have time to be able to purchase some stuff for the pigs, because yeah, like I said, it's not going to be all about the pigs. It's probably going to be like a third about the animals and 2/3 about the arable. But I do have to have everything required to look after them successfully, because we do care about them. So I can get the water tanker. I think that would be a good one to go for. Maybe go for a different brand. That looks good. And also, they are going to require... do they take straw? I think, yeah, they must take straw because they create manure. Otherwise, it would just be slurry. And I established before that the Primor was the best one to get. So already we have spent probably like £38,000 or something. It is, well, 33,500. It's amazing how fast you can get through the money. But that does still leave a fairly decent figure. Now I need 2 tractors for this. I think we'll take the FIat and, well, the Massey Ferguson would be the obvious one to go for, since the other ones were kitted up with the salt spreader and the snow plough. And I've got to say, it's nice to have the Massey Ferguson tractor back, because I always used to have loads of Massey Fergusons, but then, you know, I got criticised for having too many, but I took a break from them, and I really do miss them, so the Massey Fergusons are coming back. But soon it'll be Class. Yeah, once the Class DLC is released, I'll be probably getting mostly Class tractors in the game. About the Platinum Edition, what happened before, last year, 2 years ago, for FS19 Platinum Edition, it was released as a whole game, so you got the base game and the DLC, and it was also available just as a DLC, so you don't have to buy the whole game again, because that would be very unnecessary and very expensive. So don't worry, for anybody who is concerned that you do have to buy it all again, I'm sure you won't have to. I think they'll stick with the same idea as before, which did work very well. And also, I should have an affiliation link, so you should be able to get it through me. I don't think it's any cheaper, but it does support me, which is nice, I guess. But yeah, we'll find out later, and much closer to the time. I just skidded on the snow, and I think the Massey Ferguson just slid into the dealer's car park there. Yeah, they should really get this cleared. They're going to have some kind of claim put in. Yeah, that is slippery. It might not look too slippery in a video, because obviously I'm controlling the steering wheel and brakes here, and I can really feel that it's not responding as it used to on tarmac. Yeah, that's really sliding. But I can assure you it really is. If you have a PC and you want to find out for yourself, then yeah, I recommend it. But this map, like I say, is currently with Giant, so hopefully it's going to be out fairly soon. But the base maps are fully compatible, to my understanding, with Seasons. So yeah, you shouldn't have a problem. Well, yeah, like I said, it's 20 to 6 and it's already dark, pretty much. So I'm hoping in the next episode we are going to be able to get quite a bit more done. If it just involves working with the pigs, then fair enough. But I'm really hoping to be able to buy a cultivator or a drill or something and get some things in the ground. Like I said, there's so much to the Seasons mod which you have to get your head around. I'm still learning, and I'm sure when I do something wrong, everybody's going to let me know. But I don't think there's anything I could have done wrong yet, I hope. It'd be embarrassing if I have done something wrong. But it's quite a learning experience, getting to know everything. Somehow I managed to overtake the car despite only doing 26 miles per hour. I think the traffic does 30, at least I thought it did. Yeah, and I'm sure the snow will melt in the next day or so. But yeah, as well, I'm going to try and keep this yard as neat as possible. I'm not great at keeping the yard neat, but I will try. Let's get some more lights on, I can't see a thing. Okay, so this, I would say, is a good place to keep the straw shredder, especially as it is right next to the straw sell point. I don't think the shed is deep enough to keep the tractor attached. There is a sheer cliff just behind the shed. Oh, okay, it is. That's good. Ah, I can't see a thing. And then we have this, which should probably be kept maybe down the bottom instead of up here. But yeah, this is going to be, I'm really hoping, quite a realistic Let's Play, because now Seasons is here, you can make it realistic. In the base game, you couldn't. You could try, but you just wouldn't be able to, because it's just lacking so many different elements. But yeah, this really has changed things quite a bit. But please, don't start criticising me when I do something which isn't 100% realistic, because, like I say, I'm not a real farmer. At the end of the day, despite Seasons being amazing, it still isn't real life. So there's still going to be things which might be missed out. Also, yeah, if you are struggling with Seasons, there's all these help pages just here, which will really help you. A few things of interest here. Maintenance, the period is every 20 hours. Vehicles that are damaged might be less powerful, slower, or less efficient, so you do have to keep on top of the maintenance more than before. Weather effects, yeah, there's all your different weather effects, and also on a mod map that has been prepared with Seasons masked by the modder, hay and straw bales that have been exposed to the rain or snow will begin to rot, unless the bales are stored in a shed. But the good thing is, bad weather will not affect wrapped bales or bales on a map without a mask. Now this map, I believe, does have a mask, so yeah, we just have to essentially make sure that the bales are left under cover if they're not wrapped. So pretty easy when you think about it. It's just like real life. Pretty easy when you think about it. It's just sometimes time can be on your side, and it can all become a bit much. Also, as I did mention in my last episode of Peterville, yeah, crops will only germinate when the soil temperature is above the germination temperature, which you can find in the calendar. And as I just mentioned in this video, the soil cannot be worked when the ground is frozen. And soil temperatures and moisture influence continued growth of crops. If it gets too cold or dry, parts of crops might die off. Look at the resistance of each crop. Now this is where I'm going to get caught out, definitely, because I'm pretty sure this wasn't in the FS19 seasons, all the frost resistance and drought resistance. So I'm going to have to be very careful indeed. Yeah, so for example, if I was putting wheat in, if it's still going to be really cold, then I think it'd probably be a wise idea to hold off a bit. But if it is still a bit cold, it's not the end of the world. Whereas if you did have a crop with low resistance, that's when you want to be very careful, because that's when it could die. I also do need to spend £5,000 on this tool, which was included in the Seasons mod, and this will allow me to really read information about anything: trees, crops, fields, everything you need to know about. So if we can just read the information of the field, you can see, well, 4 things. 2 of them don't mean a great deal as such for the crop, because that is just the location and also the elevation, but these two are important. There will actually be more as well, but you have things like crop moisture, the crop type, crop growth level, fertilization level. At the moment it's just showing 0 because there's not even a crop in here, but it will be very important in the future. Anyway, from this very dark farm, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. We are going to be doing a lot more here, and this is the farm. We're not going to be going back over to the farm at all, so it's like a completely different map, but there we go. Thanks for watching, see you again soon, bye for now.